All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today we're looking up at the sky to talk about the literal powerhouse of our world, the sun. We're going to dive into some absolutely mind-bending astrophysics, but we definitely aren't stopping there. We're actually pairing these wild space facts with some deep spiritual insights from Islamic texts to kind of supercharge your spiritual well-being. Let's get into it.
So to really grasp the sheer scale of our universe, I want you to consider this massive number, 600 million. Every single second, the sun converts 600 million tons of hydrogen into energy. Just try to wrap your head around that for a second. That is an unimaginable amount of fuel burning up in the literal blink of an eye. And the crazy part? It has been doing this for billions of years without skipping a single beat.
And you know, this mind-boggling scientific reality perfectly mirrors the Qur'anic description. The Qur'an refers to the sun as a radiant lamp that sustains all life. It's not just some random ball of gas burning in a void. It's a perfectly calibrated lamp, placed exactly where it needs to be in our solar system to provide the exact amount of light and heat we need to exist.
Part 1. The Nuclear Fusion Engine.
Well, the secret to the sun's energy was actually a huge mystery until the 20th century. The whole puzzle was unlocked by Albert Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared. And the core concept here is just mind-blowing. Einstein proved that mass and energy are entirely interchangeable. Like you can literally convert physical matter into pure energy. It sounded completely outrageous at the time, but it's exactly what powers our sun.
Oh, and here's a really fun historical anecdote for you. Einstein obviously became a massive global celebrity because of his discoveries, right? Well, when he met the famous film star Charlie Chaplin, the two global icons instantly hit it off. And what did they bond over? The shared loss of privacy that comes with immense fame. Even the smartest guy on the planet just wanted a little peace and quiet away from the cameras. Anyway, getting back to that crazy equation, to truly understand its power, check out this comparison. If you were to completely convert just one tiny gram of matter, so think about the weight of a small paperclip, it produces the exact same amount of energy as burning 15,000 barrels of oil. That is the hyper-efficient energy system happening inside our sun right now.
Deep inside the sun's 15 million degree core, this incredible energy is created through a complex three-step process called the proton-proton chain. Basically, hydrogen protons are moving so incredibly fast because of the intense heat that they smash right into each other, completely overcome their natural magnetic repulsion, and eventually fuse together to create helium. And in this process, a tiny bit of mass is lost and converted into that massive paperclip to oil barrels level of energy we just talked about.
And the wild journey of that energy, it is absolutely fascinating. The fusion creates these elusive particles called neutrinos, along with high-energy gamma rays. Now, neutrinos are basically like ghosts. They escape the sun in mere seconds. But the gamma rays? The core of the sun is so densely crowded that these rays just bounce around, crashing into things, for up to 1 million years before they finally reach the surface, lose some energy, and travel to Earth as visible sunlight. So yeah, the sunlight hitting your face today is actually ancient energy.
Moving on to part 2, orbit, seasons, and time.
First up, let's bust a massive myth. It's a super common misconception that our seasons are caused by how close or how far we are from the sun during our orbit. But the reality is, our distance actually plays a very minor role. The seasons are driven almost entirely by Earth's 23.5-degree axial tilt.
Right, so because of this tilt, different parts of our planet receive varying intensities of the sun's rays as we make our elliptical orbit. When the northern hemisphere tilts toward the sun, it gets the direct rays, and boom, it's summer. Meanwhile, the southern hemisphere is leaning away, giving them winter. This perfectly balanced tilt is exactly what creates the diverse weather patterns and seasons we need for growing food and sustaining life.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This physical movement doesn't just structure our seasons, it completely structures our spiritual life too. For our spiritual well-being, we need regular moments to just pause and connect with the Creator. The Hadith in Bulugh al-Maram uses the sun's daily position, from the crack of dawn to the meridian to the length of our shadows all the way down to sunset, to perfectly map out the 5 daily prayer times. It's literally like the cosmos itself acts as a giant natural push notification, reminding us to check in spiritually throughout the day.
Which brings us to part 3, understanding the unseen journey. While astrophysics maps out the observable, physical movement of the sun, Islamic texts also speak of a deeper, metaphysical journey. When the Quran or Hadith describe the sun's setting, they're speaking to us as human beings observing the sky. They speak in the context of diurnal motion, which is simply how the sun appears to move from our perspective here on Earth.
The texts are beautifully communicating with us based on our actual lived reality. Now, this raises a really interesting question when we read a famous hadith stating that the sun goes and prostrates beneath Allah's throne after setting, asking for permission to rise again. Some critics might point to this and say, wait a second, we have satellites. We know the sun just stays in the center of the solar system. So, how do we reconcile this?
Well, the crucial takeaway here is this. This prostration belongs to the realm of the unseen, known as al-ghaib. It teaches us a huge lesson for our spiritual intellect. Just because we cannot comprehend a spiritual reality with modern scientific instruments doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Think about it like this. What would a tiny little bug think of a human being prostrating in prayer? It wouldn't comprehend what we're doing at all. The rest of creation has its own unique, profound way of submitting to God that completely bypasses our physical understanding.
And finally, Part 4, Purifying the Human Soul.
This beautiful mirroring of physical realities and spiritual truths reaches its absolute peak when we look at the inner workings of the human soul. In Surah Al-Shams, God swears profound oaths upon the sun, the moon, the day, and the night. Why swear by these specific things? Because they highlight the absolute majesty, order, and balance of creation. The sun does exactly what it's supposed to do. The moon perfectly follows its orbit. There is a flawless, obedient system at work every single second.
And classical Islamic scholars note some amazing symbolism here. They compare the sun's radiant morning light to the clear, original guidance of prophethood. And the moon? Well, the moon doesn't produce its own light, right? It reflects the sun. So the moon represents the believers, who take that original spiritual light and reflect it out into the darkness of the world. It's such a beautiful analogy for our purpose.
But here's where we differ from a star or a planet. We have free will. The ultimate implication of these celestial oaths in Surah Al-Shams is that the human soul, unlike the sun or the moon, has the potential for both good and evil. Because of this, we are entirely responsible for our own moral choices. We have to actively do the work to purify our own souls. So, as we witness the sun dutifully following its orbit, burning at millions of degrees to provide us with life-giving light and seamlessly keeping our physical and spiritual time, we are left with a powerful reflection. The entire universe is in a state of perfect submission and order. The question I leave you with today is, what will you choose for your soul? Are you going to align your own path with that cosmic harmony? Thanks so much for exploring this amazing topic with us today, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.